Black and Curious. I'm Kendrin.
What up, what up? It is your girl Deja. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Never been here before. We do a cross section of pop culture and real life. today, today, we are going to talk about Target, y'all. So, we're going to talk about Target, but we're going to talk about a bigger thing that's happening in the world on the heels of the new administration coming in, where they are making a lot of changes and I feel like companies are making changes to align with the new administration or at minimum not be completely out of step with the new administration. So, and I think it's happening across sectors and in a lot of different ways. So, like, we're going to kind of get into it, but we're going to start with the DEI of it all. So, a lot of companies, even before this, like, had already started rolling back their DE&I initiatives
Long before
and
the inauguration
long
stuff
before the
started coming
inauguration.
off. So those people we already know was on that FS. I'm
Yes.
trying to stop cursing so much for the YouTube streets.
Okay. So, Target is the latest to announce that they are rolling back their DEI initiatives. I do want to go to Target's page because they did roll it back. They did say they're going to be focusing on belonging, which is, I think, a terminology that not lots of, but companies have started to use in lieu of DEI. I've
Mm-hmm.
heard it before. I've heard it a lot before.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they say that they're committed to continuing, what do you say, belonging at the bullseye. And our strategy is rooted in our team. We'll recruit and maintain team members who represent the communities we serve. Our guests, we aim to create joyful experiences through an assortment of products and services that help all guests feel seen and celebrated, increasing relevance with our consumers and our communities. We build deep and lasting relationships in the communities we serve, driving impact, economic vitality, and connection that fuels loyalty. They'll be concluding their 3-year diversity, equity, inclusion goals, concluding the racial equity action and change initiatives, REACH, as of 2025, um, evolving our supplier diversity team to supplier engagement to better reflect our inclusive global procurement process across a broad range of suppliers, including increasing our focus on small businesses. So, initial thoughts, and then we're going to get into like some more discussion.
So if you follow me over on TikTok streets, then you know I already have my initial thoughts.
Okay.
Where I have landed from the wall slide was okay, well they just kind of shifted from the DEI of it all to belonging, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But then from there I went to, oh, so then that means that less of our businesses being Black and women led businesses, are going to get money and funding and opportunities because they are trying to step in line with the current administration.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point, I landed at the Lip Bar CEO and then
Melissa
subsequently
Butler.
Tabitha Brown
Mm-hmm.
talking about how um and Chastity Garner, who's also, I don't know if she really does TikTok, but she's a plus size influencer that's heavy on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
talking about how Chastity Garner specifically said that we should boycott TikTok. The Lip Bar and Tabitha Brown were just kind of like, hey, hold on now. While I understand that you want to put your money where your values are, it makes all the sense to me. At the same time, if we all as a collective decide to pull our monies away from these stores, then that takes the monies away from the Black businesses that you want to support, because we
Mm-hmm.
are in these doors already. So if we start pulling all of our monies and resources from these doors, which is well within your right, this is what both Tabitha and the Lip Bar CEO said, founder,
Mm-hmm. Melissa Butler
um,
is her name.
Melissa Butler, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't remember her name. But you're well within your right to do that, but you want to also consider the fact that we are already here. So yes, those two are major names, but then there are smaller companies that if we decide to stop shopping at Target, then those people lose their accounts. And the hope of the other side is to wipe our businesses out altogether. And by doing this switcheroo, shock and all shit that this administration is doing, that's what's going to happen to us if
Yeah.
we decide to just pull our monies out without not necessarily considering that there are already Black employees that work at Target. And if
Hmm.
we stop shopping there, then all those initiatives go away from them for them corporate wise. There are
Hmm.
already Black small businesses and women-owned businesses, not just Black people, but because we are Black, we're speaking from that point of view,
Of
that
course.
would be hurt if we all decided to boycott. And so for me, I'm just
Hmm.
kind of in the middle. I think that what will end up happening is that as far as Deja is concerned, I'm gonna shop for the things that I need with more research in mind. So
Hmm.
what I mean by that is, invest more in my local neighborhoods and communities and seeing what I can source from them. But also because Target is a store that I love and I'm in damn near out of a 7-day week, I might be there 5 times because a little bit of ADHD.
Hmm.
Um, like I will try my best to really invest in doing my research on the companies that I'm purchasing in Target,
Yeah.
making sure that I am trying to still support those small businesses and women owned and Black owned and brown owned businesses in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I had my initial thought was, first of all, one thing about me, I'm going to the source. I'm going to the source, so I wanted to see what Target said because I
Hmm.
think a lot of people see headlines and
That's
react very
fair.
quickly based on headlines. And what I read from that like press release or their corporate fact sheet was a company that's trying to straddle the line and stay out of the Trump administration's crosshairs.
Hmm.
Um, and I think we're going to see a lot of this. And I don't necessarily think that that is not taking up for a company because they can do for themselves. But um, I think we have to be realistic about what people are going to have to do to just stay out of the crosshairs of these people. Um, and to be realistic, honestly, it may not be what we want to see, but I am more of a like, what are they doing?
Yep.
Um, Now, if I see they start to cancel contracts with a lot of these people, then I would have a different feeling.
Yeah.
But to me, it seemed like they were trying to straddle the line of like, yes, we're canceling this, but we are going to continue to serve the communities that we're in and build partnerships with the communities that we're in. And that's going to look different from community to community. And I think that is the spirit of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah. I think to your
To
point,
me.
getting getting the meat and potatoes of what it is that they're doing makes a lot of sense. But then I also saw something this morning from another attorney I follow on TikTok where she was just kind of like a lot of these companies like Target corporations are trying to avoid being tied up in court for the next 4 years because that's what's coming. If they don't get rid of their DE&I, then they're going to start dealing with all these frivolous lawsuits coming out of nowhere, and that will take away from their ability to reinvest into our small communities.
Yeah. And I will say, like, in terms of Target,
The
I
small
think they've
businesses.
been on the more progressive side even before any like major initiatives about having different products in stores. And even like during, the Ferguson uprisings and all of that stuff, Target was like, girl, we're not worried about this stuff. Like, are the people safe? You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's like, I'm not saying like what people should do or shouldn't do. Like, listen, I am a
What you
person who
want with your
believes in
money?
voting with your dollars. I have
Hmm.
not been in a Walmart in about 10 years because I learned how poorly they treat their staff. And that is a personal decision that I choose not to give them my money. So if that is your reaction to this, is like, I'm not going to be giving you my money, that is on you. Like, that is your decision to make with your dollars.
Hmm.
I just am I think that we're going to have to be more strategic over the next 4 years
Yeah.
about and not reacting to every single headline and honestly taking a look at what's actually happening on the ground.
Yeah, because
Um,
like I said, this administration has set out to do, and the shock and awe phrasing is coming from Joy Ann Reid. That's why I
mhm,
mentioned it first on TikTok.
yeah,
And so, I believe that she's right. Every day there has been something else this administration has thrown at us so that you are so busy being shocked and awed and pissed off and reacting to these headlines that you're not really doing the due diligence for yourself and your community to see
Yeah.
what all is actually happening in the background.
Hmm.
So, in that regard, the only thing that I can do that's within my control is to not shop in Target. I mean, not Target, not shop in Walmart, to your point. Not unless I am shopping those small businesses like Tabitha Brown made mention to the fact I didn't even realize, but she is in Target doors because she has her spices that are sold there.
Walmart.
She is, yes,
Hmm.
Walmart, thank you. She is in Walmart doors because she does have spices that are sold there in Walmart. She has a
Hmm.
branding deal with Target for the next year in terms of her being in contract. And I didn't Melissa Butler didn't make mention to her contracts and things that she has, but like
She's everywhere.
she's everywhere. She's also in Walmart. But
Hmm.
she's everywhere and it's just like it it makes a lot of sense, understandably, when you hear these things to be pissed off and upset, but then go back and do your research and just try to support the brands and businesses that most align with what you believe in
Yeah.
and do that. So that way we still get those opportunities for Black, brown, and women-led and queer-led businesses. I don't
Yeah.
think that us all of a sudden just pulling ourselves out of these stores is the best idea. I don't.
Okay.
Much as like it makes you not want to give them your dollar, is you damned if you do and you damned if you don't, because you if you don't, then the chances of our youth coming up with products and things, or us in general, our age group coming up with products and things and wanting to be in these major stores, they might not be able to get access to that because
Yeah.
the Black community or the communities that are being targeted at this time have decided to withdraw their monies, and that's not
Yeah.
that ain't fair to the businesses and the future ones to come.
Yeah. And then on a bigger perspective in terms of like boycotting and stuff, like something I've just been thinking about a lot as we talk about like what kind of action we're going to be doing is first of all, what is the outcome that we're desiring? Like, are we clear on the outcome that we desire?
Right.
What can the company do to like rectify the situation or make it so that is this a boycott forever? Is
Yeah.
what are we after? And to that end, it's like I know with TikTok and social media and all of these things kind of filtering down via social, it's like everything is so decentralized that I don't even think that we need to get clear objectives about what it is that we're trying to accomplish
Yeah.
via one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like in the past, I feel like there's been like the NAACP is like, the organization, or so there's been some sort of something more central. And I know like a lot of times people are against like a more central thing, but I think that's the most effective way to get results in a
But
way.
also the whole point of everything being so decentralized is to keep you from being able to think and strategize.
Yeah, that's
So,
one way to look at it. Another thing I've been thinking about as we talk about boycotting these companies and like, oh, go to Costco instead, and like none of these none of these big companies are good. Like,
and
and
this is
also like we don't
no.
have our economy has been hyper, like, I don't know the proper word, but like there's so many conglomerates in our economy now that it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's almost impossible to avoid bad actors. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
thinking about this from a like me specific thing, right? So I'm thinking, okay, if I boycott, I already don't go to Walmart and we can't go there because they are terrible on a number of levels. So I'm leaving Target now, okay? Um, so I'm gonna get all my household stuff from Publix. They are big Republican donors. Can't go to
Mm-hmm.
Whole Foods because also Bezos and Amazon and like when you
It's just
start going down the rabbit hole, also like a lot of people are even talking about this online, saying like, girl, you can boycott Amazon if you want to, but AWS runs the world. So like how like we're hyper into these conglomerates, even the grocery store chains. Like there's been so many conversations and like litigation around these grocery store monopolies because it's like two companies that own like 90% of the grocery stores. So it's
mm-hmm.
like we have to be more strategic. My point is like, I'm not saying boycott Target or don't boycott Target, but it has to be more strategy behind it than every time we see a headline. That's when we're boycotting, because a lot of these people are doing stuff in this behind the scenes anyway. Like, and they may not be a headline. They may not have ever had a DEI initiative. You know what I mean? Like, are we excluding them from the boycott? And then where we gonna shop? Like,
Right. Where are you going to get your goods and products from? Because the big corporations have made it so that all these like mom and pop and small farm stands and like places where you like huge thrift markets, things like that, they've made it so that none of that shit exists anymore. It ain't like it was in the 80s at the latest when we were kids and your parents could go and get like a nice furniture set and something that was handmade and well done and get your groceries and things for the week from the like I was talking to my because I live multi-generationally and I was talking to my mother and my grandmother about it and I'm like I don't even know where to go here in this area to just go and get like fresh produce. Like the
yeah,
first place I know to go get it is at Whole Foods, and now Whole Foods is a problem.
yeah, yeah. And it's like, yeah, farmers market maybe if you're lucky, but
If you
I
can
don't know.
find
It's just
them,
like,
they push them out of the cities, you
okay,
know?
so yeah, uh, it's just like, again, I just wanted to be more strategic and us not to just be reacting to everything. I don't think that a lot of people who are posting the things about Target actually necessarily went and read their things, um,
No.
which is something that a lot of people are very guilty of. And also, like, if we're gonna do a collective action thing, like, we need to get everybody involved, not just the people who are on social media. Because, like, I can guarantee you, people in my life don't know nothing about this boycott, and they don't probably care. So,
The only way they know about it is if they just say, no, we can't be shopping here. Hell, we was in Walmart yesterday. And I'm like, ladies, I don't think that we should be shopping in Walmart. And my mom's like, but it's the cheapest place to get this, and this. So to that end, who am I to tell people in my life and otherwise that you shouldn't shop in a store where your dollar is going to go a little bit further and your dollar is already being encroached upon more and more every day? Like, how
yeah,
is that fair? You know what I'm saying? It's just all of this is jacked up. So I don't have no
yeah.
answers.
Me either. Me either.
I don't know what to
Either.
do. All
I
I
don't
know
either.
is to control the controllable as it relates to myself. And even
Hmm.
in that, there it's like the things are already controlled for you. The options are already made for you. You don't
Hmm.
really get a say.
Unfortunately. So, anyways, drop down in the comments. Let's continue the conversation because, like we both saying, like we don't have no answers. We asking questions, like we don't have answers. Like what else? What are we supposed to do here? You know what I mean? Um, drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think about boycotts these days.
Is it worth
Will
it?
you be boycotting Target or any other of these companies that are canceling their DEI initiatives? Yeah, let's
I'm gonna
have
tell you right
continued
now, I'm
conversation.
not gonna hold you and tell you a farce. I might be in Walmart because that's where I take the elders in my family because that's where they choose to shop. But I will be sending my monies to the things that I've done the research for as much as I could as it
Yeah.
relates to Target. And I still love Amazon. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. That's my favorite pastime is scrolling through my Amazon. What y'all got for me today? And now all of a sudden that's not gonna be a thing. Maybe it's a thing of being more mindful with your dollar and not spending so frivolously, like buying only what you need instead of buying the
Yeah.
things that you desire.
And
So
I've seen that conversation too. And I think, honestly, well, I'll speak for myself. Like, I do overconsume.
I
So,
do. Mm-hmm.
you know,
Look at
it's
this.
not a bad
I'm doing
idea.
wigs now. That's new.
Just from an economic perspective, it's not a bad idea for me to slow down a little bit, and be more focused on the things that I need. But yeah, let's continue to have this conversation, especially around corporate ethics and all of those things. How are you handling it in your real life? Drop down in the comments, let us know, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.